If Twitter and Instagram were part of my academic subjects, boy, my parents would be so proud of me. My GPA would be A super plus. You see, Twitter and Instagram engage me more than any academic subject. But I like college, don't get me wrong. I like to learn. Whenever I see a good thing, I want to learn. I like my friends there. I like the lazy afternoons in the campus canteen. Not the food, but the atmosphere. I like the guilty pleasure I get when I skip classes, just for the sake of that gossip session. But I like to learn, seriously, whenever I have a good thing to learn. That's why I go to college. I want to learn and be a good, productive citizen. Ministry of Education to introduce new academic subject, environmental education. Finally, someone somewhere decided that we should learn to care. Finally, something good to learn. Environmental education textbook to be available soon. Okay, so a new textbook, a new teacher, a new exam. That's all right. Kids need to learn not to litter the yard in each recess. Boy, that was sad. They really need it. We do need a curriculum that can help protect the environment. But what curriculum? Let's think about it. How are the students going to change after they take this curriculum? Is it going to be any different from the rest of our courses? Boring. Chalk and talk, drill and kill, and at the end, the students memorize a few passages by heart, pour them down in one dash on the exam sheet, and bingo. A+. And then, toss that textbook outside the window, together with the rest of its brothers and sisters, to lie dead and still on the road. And that's a huge pile of litter out there. Environmental education. I don't think this new course is going to make any difference if it was going to be taught in that way. I don't think its outcome is going to be better than the outcome of any other course if that was the way we would learn. I rest my case. But what is a curriculum? In dictionaries, a curriculum is simply the courses offered by a school. In a broader perspective, curriculum is a set of values, knowledge, and skills that a nation needs to learn and is expressed through comprehensive documents, such as strategic goals, frameworks, subject syllabi, textbooks, teacher guides, and assessment guides. But who writes this curriculum? A number of players take part in the design, development, and implementation of the curriculum. The government, the sponsors, the educational organizations, the school boards, the teachers, the parents, and finally, and this player is, as claimed by the previous players, to be the most important player of all. Ladies and gentlemen, the student. Now, in my country, Saudi Arabia, the most important goal of education is preserving and fostering Islamic values, while also providing the knowledge and skills needed to build the knowledge-based economy. And that makes perfect sense in the country of the two holy mosques, which is also the world's largest oil producer. But the problems with our curricula are enormous. Our curricula are still taught using outdated methods and theories that do not lead to the desired outcome in the 21st century. These theories and methods are the main reason why our students cannot transfer anything they learn into working skills and actions that move their lives forward. The spirit of the Katatib from more than 100 years ago is still alive and influential in the way our teachers teach us. Memorization is still the most important study skill that a student needs to learn. This rote learning method restricts our infinite intellectual abilities and reduces them into the mere ability of a CD writer. These theories and methods see the teacher as the center of the learning process, the owner and dispatcher of knowledge, who helps the poor souls, the students, whom he sees as empty buckets. No, seriously, they see our heads as empty buckets that need to be filled. And thank God, the teacher is there in the classroom with the right fill. Oh, teacher, what will you give me today? Please, fill my emptiness. make me full. Once that bucket is emptied onto the exam sheet for the weighted reward of an A degree, the student is back to point zero. Brain, clear. Conscience, clear. Academic achievements and records, clear. Listen, if the environmental education course is going to be taught in that way, chances are 1,000 to 1 it will ever be successful in protecting the environment. So how can a curriculum be effective? How can a curriculum lead to the desired outcome of preparing qualified, responsible, and capable citizens? How can a curriculum enable our students to transfer what they learn from the classroom into actions and skills that move our lives forwards? The answer is simple. Let the curriculum shift focus from the teacher and the course content towards the student. I mean, isn't the student the most important stakeholder of the curriculum?
Yes.
Isn't the student the justification of the curriculum?
Yes.
For whom the curriculum is made?
Yes.
For whom all the other stakeholders put their efforts together in order to educate and prepare for tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay then. We need a curriculum that is learner-centered. One that sees our students as the center of the learning process, not passive recipients. We need a curriculum that is holistic. It sees our students as human beings, not empty buckets. A curriculum based on the idea that each person finds identity, purpose, and meaning through connections to the community, to humanitarian values, and to the environment. We need a curriculum that enables our students to feel their independence and to realize they have brains to think, hearts to feel, and hands to work. We need a curriculum that is project-based, one that gives the learner the opportunity to use critical thinking in order to realize how to think, not what to think, to construct knowledge and find the most effective ways of applying that knowledge in order to make a difference. Don't we wonder sometimes where the environmental awareness, the respect, and true ability to protect the environment in the Western world comes from? How come they have this amazing ability to protect the environment? The answer is right there. Their curriculum is learner-centered, holistic, project-based, and promotes critical thinking and learner independence. And the main stakeholder on the macro level, the government, mandates that among the foremost goals of a nation's education is preserving and enhancing the environment. Look, in this new curriculum, the environmental education course does not need to exist. What will work better is the inclusion of environmental values into the course objectives of the languages, social sciences, and other courses. The students, for example, can learn to respect the environment when they study reading comprehension texts talking about environmental issues, such as the story of the Fukushima nuclear plant and its horrendous outcome. Or do a project in science to study the effects of desertification and see in their own eyes the wrong practices that lead to this environmental catastrophe. And in our country, they can study that in religion courses too. In this new curriculum, the study of religion is going to be different, promoting a deeper, more humane understanding of the beautiful essence and spirit of our religion, not just the memorization of scripture. When we do this, we will change our mistaken understanding of وَسَخَّرَ لَكُمْ مَا فِي السَّمَوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ, which makes us think we are the owners and masters of this earth. And we will come to see its true meaning, that we should be grateful to God for these gifts that we should preserve. We will realize that we cannot keep doing harm to the place from which we humans are created, and that is earth. We will realize that we should keep our burial resting places clean so that we may rest in peace in a clean place for that long slumber, so that when we are awakened on Judgment Day, we will find a good spot to plant that little branch and face the Almighty with a clear conscience and a good deed. When we have that curriculum, we will protect the environment effectively. And when we have that curriculum, Twitter and Instagram will no longer engage me because I will have a good thing to learn. And my conscience will hurt if I skip classes just for the sake of that late afternoon session the campus campaign. You liked it?